Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, today we're talking about the difference between Goon tape and just regular hockey tape. Which one's better? What are the differences? We're going to chat all about it. So first off, excuse my wine, I'm out of whiskey and this was left in my fridge. But back to the topic at hand, Goon tape versus regular hockey tape. What's the difference? Is there one? Why would you get one over the other? So Goon tape is kind of the specific name brand tape that you're kind of seeing all over Instagram and on a lot of the weapon systems that us gun nerds tend to run. I love this kind of tape in general because, first off, it gives you a lot of creative ability to modify weapon systems without making any sort of permanent modifications to the firearm. I mean, this handgun specifically, I think this is like my third round of tape I had on. I'll put it on, take it off, put it on, change colors, do this, do that. I like the ability that the tape gives you to kind of switch some things up. Just like this guy right here, the Rifle Dynamics Quick Hatch that I've kind of turned into this abomination here. I just got tape all over it. And when I get sick of this, and I know I will, all I got to do is just take the tape off and we're done. Now, I did actually have someone reach out in a comment if this tape leaves like a sticky residue once you take it off. And to be honest, it really doesn't. I mean, there's a little bit of residue, but if you just take like a rag and either some gun cleaner or a little bit of Windex and just rub down whatever you're worried about, it's not a big concern. So don't let that stop you. Am I going to recommend hockey tape or Goon tape? I recommend them both. So there's really nothing that I want you to be afraid of by taping up a gun. If you tape up something and you don't like it, take the tape off. It's going to be fine. But today, specifically, we're talking about the Goon tape, name brand, versus just kind of regular hockey tape. Well, the biggest difference between these two is really going to be the price. I just took a look at the Goon tape website and I just took a look on Amazon. So you can get essentially this roll, one roll of this thickness Goon tape on their website for about $10. It's $10. It's not a terribly horrible price. Now, you can get 5 rolls of the same thickness hockey tape on Amazon for about $8. So the Goon tape technically is 5 times more expensive, but like it's $10 for a roll. I mean, it's really not that much. I will say one of the issues historically with Goon tape has been their stocking. They're sometimes out of stock, which, you know, it is what it is. Like I said, I just looked at the website and they were in stock and everything. So maybe that's a problem of the past. Now, let's kind of get into some specifics about what I like about the Goon tape and what I like about the hockey tape. So to kind of give us a little bit more of a direct comparison here, I have Goon tape on this Glock here and I have regular hockey tape on the Mini 14. It may be hard to appreciate on camera, but I will say that Goon tape looks a little bit more smooth and solid in a way. It tends to seam together a little more flawlessly than the hockey tape. I mean, on this mag here, you can definitely kind of see these ripples of where the hockey tape overlap. And with the Goon tape, it seems to like smooth out a little bit more to kind of look like one seamless piece. So I do like that. Advantage Goon tape. Now, one thing that I have noticed by putting on the hockey tape and the Goon tape, the hockey tape tends to lay down a little bit easier in a sense that it doesn't really have as much stretch to it. When you're laying the hockey tape down, it doesn't stretch and crease over itself. And when you're laying down the Goon tape, you got to be a little bit more careful. You can kind of tell, might be hard to appreciate, but the Goon tape has a lot more wiggle and stretch to it. Now, I will say that it was nice when I was working on this project and I had to kind of tape over all of these funky surfaces to attach this bayonet. The ability of that Goon tape to swoop in and out of these curves with a little bit more stretch was actually kind of beneficial. But I will say for ease of taping, I think the hockey tape actually has a little bit more of an advantage. It tends to go on with less creases. Now, as you can kind of see when we're directly comparing the hockey tape and the Goon tape, when it's been on for a little while, the hockey tape looks a little bit more clothy, I guess, for lack of a better term. You can kind of see that it's like a little bit cottony, whereas the Goon tape kind of does look a little bit smoother. As far as residue after you take either the hockey tape or the Goon tape off, it's about the same. It doesn't leave much residue. I'm not really going to give an edge to either one on that. So talking a little bit about durability specifically, I've had this hockey tape on the butt of this AK for, God, probably like 2 or 3 years now. And I mean, it's held up pretty nice. I mean, it really hasn't started to tear or do anything weird or come up at all on me. Now, again, comparing it directly to the Goon tape that's on this Glock, you can see there is like a little bit of a color difference. The hockey tape did kind of tend to wear down a little bit and kind of almost have like a gray hue instead of that dark black. Now, I literally just put this on a couple days ago on the Glock. So that will kind of tend to happen over time with the Goon tape, but I think it does hold up a little bit better aesthetically. That being said, functionally, the hockey tape did not have any sort of tears, rip-ups, or loosening of the edges, so it did really hold up pretty nice for me. As far as your color options, I do think the hockey tape on Amazon definitely has a better array of color options. That being said, I haven't really seen too many people be putting like pink, green, purple, blue tape on their guns. Not that you can't, they're your guns, do what you want, man. But most of the time, people are running just kind of the black or the green. Like I said, I did just get off the Goon Tape website, and they also have a couple of camo options now too. It's almost kind of like this type of camo in a couple of different colors, so that's kind of cool. But there are definitely a lot more hockey tape color and camo options. So if we're looking for diversity, Edge is kind of go to the hockey tape. Now, which tape is better and which should you buy? In my opinion, I think I'm actually going to give the edge to the Goon Tape a little bit here. I like the way it kind of goes on a little bit smoother and does kind of have that more flawless look when we compare it to the hockey tape. But that being said, if you really want to put this tape on neat, it does take a little bit more effort to put on seamlessly because just like right there, it does tend to bend and kind of fold in on itself, whereas the hockey tape doesn't. Now, they are a little bit different colors. The hockey tape does look a little bit more clothy than the Goon Tape, and it kind of feels that way as well. The Goon Tape feels a little bit more smooth, and the hockey tape feels a little bit more clothy. That being said, the Goon Tape is 5 times more expensive than the hockey tape, but it's only $10. As far as heat reduction for something like this short-barreled AK here, I really don't think either tape does anything, if I'm being incredibly honest with myself. It's a good thought, but I don't really think that should impact your decision. It was kind of something I hoped for, but to be honest, all this tape in the front didn't really make a difference in the heat dissipation, so can't really give the edge to either one of them. At the end of the day, both the Goon Tape and the hockey tape are pretty cool options and really just let you get creative with your firearm, so I absolutely do recommend at least trying some sort of either Goon Tape or hockey tape on one of your weapon systems. Super easy to put on and super easy to take off if you don't like it. Definitely gives you the option to kind of personalize and customize some of your weapons and really kind of nerd out and have some fun. I guess gun to my head if I had to choose, gun puns. I guess gun to my head if I had to choose, I think I'd pick the Goon Tape, but like I said, it's a little bit more expensive. But I guess don't be a bitch, spend the $10, get the Goon Tape, have some fun with your guns. Alrighty boys, I appreciate you tuning into the channel today. If you like this kind of content, please hit the subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. And if there's ever anything you want me to chat about, leave me a comment down below.